Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I want you to know that my commitment to you, you've mentioned several times the opening of the process on this disaster bill. My commitment to you is I don't want you to have to toot your own horn. I want you to let third-party affirmation toot it for you. Because as Mr. Cole said, it is an uncommon thing here, and it only happened because you intentionally pursued an opportunity to open up the process and try to start things out on a different foot. And I want to echo Mr. Cole's appreciation for that. I appreciate that, and the farmers in Georgia appreciate that. I want to respond to my friend Ms. Torres's call to find something that we can work on together. The truth is, we have it here in the Rules Committee print. In this Rules Committee print, we have something that we can work on together. We have something that brings us together, from folks suffering in Puerto Rico to folks suffering in South Georgia, from folks who have been brutalized by disasters in California to those in Texas. We have a bill right here that we can work on together. Now, the downside of opening up a process is that you never know what you're going to get. When you open up a process, you can get amendments that make bills better. You can get amendments that make bills unpassable. My friend Ms. Lowy and I had the pleasure of serving on the bipartisan, bicameral Committee on Budget Process Reform. And I won't pretend that I can recount all of the wisdom that you shared during those hearings, because we had so many. I thought they were very productive.
Were they?
I did. I absolutely did. And at the end of the day, I remember sitting there with our Senate colleagues who said, you know what, I think we could pass this. I think we could get this done, but we just don't have the trust reservoir of Senate leadership, and so we can't move forward because we think Senator McConnell might play some tricks and some games. We had a good work product that we could have done, but your common theme throughout that was, what can we do to prevent poison pills in an appropriation process? Poison pills. That wasn't in my vernacular, but it is now after you've said it over and over and over again. And I'm thinking about the call that Ms. Torres just made to find something that we can work on together, something that candidly we are all disappointed, every region of the country, every political party, that we haven't responded to these disaster needs. But for your manager's amendment, you and I know we would pass this bill this week, the Senate would pass this bill this week, and the President was put his signature on it to begin to help suffering families, as Ms. Torres has just articulated. And yet, with the addition of your manager's amendment, you know that becomes much less likely. Why can't we, thinking about the good partnership that Republicans and Democrats have on the Appropriations Committee, why can't we treat this disaster bill with the seriousness that it deserves, and then bring a separate bill to the floor that treats the government shutdown with the seriousness that it deserves?
I'm a little puzzled. I always
that's twice in two speakers here.
I always appreciate the wisdom of my friends, and that's why I'm puzzled, because you and I know this bill is really good, but if the government is shut down, you can implement all the outstanding provisions here, from coast to coast, from island to island. So I'll put it to you. Let's open the government. Let's open all the agencies. Let's do it at the same time, and we can pass this bill, and we can certainly implement it if all of our agencies are open.
I would say to my friend, I would love to do exactly that. I don't believe that folks disagree on border security. I don't think folks disagree on human trafficking. I don't think folks disagree on drug trafficking. I think that there are absolutely politics at play. But if I understood my friend's logic correctly, you're saying that you intend to do nothing to help Georgia farm families that have been struck by disaster. You intend to do nothing to help California families struck by disaster. You intend to do nothing to help any family in this country grappling with disasters that has already been said should have been responded to last Congress but weren't. You intend to do nothing on those issues until folks have resolved the White House conversation on government agencies. And I say that,
Would you like me to answer that?
Well, I want to finish so that you'll understand what I'm asking. I know you've added Medicaid money here for families in Puerto Rico. As you know, Health and Human Services is fully funded. Everyone is at work at Health and Human Services. So if we pass this bill today, those Medicaid dollars will go directly to families in need in Puerto Rico. We can begin helping those folks immediately. It is not true that those funds will be delayed, but it sounds like you're unwilling to release those funds for those agencies that are funded until you get everything else that you want. I wish we could all get everything that we want, but I'm legitimately concerned that the folks that I count on for bipartisan leadership in this Congress, the Appropriations Committee, the folks I count on for being the last place that politics infects the decision-making process, are saying I'm going to do nothing if I can't do everything.
We've worked together for a while, and frankly, I'm a little puzzled by your comments because maybe you haven't interacted with some of the people that my friend Mrs. Torres was talking about, people who can't live, can't support their family, can't go to the grocery store without a paycheck. So I would expect that we could work together and pass this bill, open the government. And if you recall the first bills at the beginning of this process, we even put in place a provision 30 days to talk about Homeland Security because there were some real differences about Homeland Security. You talk to my friends in Texas, depends where their district is, there are some real differences. So I'm a little puzzled. We could work together, pass this bill, open government at the same time, and do what we first suggested in the very first bill. Take 30 days in Lucille Roy Bell Allard's Homeland Security bill and see where there are differences and work it out. So you're suggesting we pass this bill, leave the government closed, so people who work for TSA, you know, I have friends, I have friends calling me, say, is it safe to go on an airplane? Because the TSA workers aren't all working. So you're saying, pass this bill and let's take another couple of months to work out and open the government. I'm sorry, that does not make any sense to me.
As the gentlelady knows, that's not at all what I'm saying. And I know she unintentionally mischaracterized me. I know she would not have mischaracterized me on purpose.
I apologize, I would never mischaracterize.
I know that my friend would not. I would open up the government today. I would have done it yesterday. I would have done it 2 days ago. And all folks have asked, in fact, I voted twice now here in the House to open that to government and can't get it done. I hope that we will. I'm only wondering, here in a new Congress with new leadership, if it continues to be true, I think the word held hostage has already been used here today. A bill was brought to this committee that could have gone to the President's desk for his signature. And we are now at work to change the bill in ways that we all know it will never get his signature. It is a mystery to me how any of us can look someone in the eye and tell them that we're serving our constituents in that way. Let me ask our ranking member, has the committee been constituted yet? We've made an effort to the Rules Committee. I know this has an emergency designation. We've made an effort to the Rules Committee to say we're going to have all bills have a hearing before they get here, is because we do count so much on the Appropriations Committee. Have we constituted the Appropriations Committee yet? Do we have members on there? Have our new members been named as of today?
As of today.
So you're saying my high hopes for appropriations leadership have begun today and will continue going forward. I'll say again, Mr. Chairman, thank you for what you're trying to do to make the process better. I do believe a flawed process will always produce a flawed product. There's no guarantee that a better process will produce a better product, but we can certainly work on that together. It has to be remembered. We have a product here in our hands that will make a difference not to everybody, but to many people. We have a product in our hands that will not do everything, but it will do something very important. And we have a product in our hands that the President will put his signature on. And that difference can begin to be made tomorrow. It's up to us whether we choose to accept that or reject that opportunity. I believe this is a committee of opportunity. I hope we'll say yes. And I yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.